Breaking news on CBS2 News at 5. Heartbreak at a local high school after a student died suddenly today. Students gathered around the flagpole at Paloma Valley High in Menifee to honor Jake Drost. The freshman was running with his fellow Navy ROTC cadets this morning when he collapsed. Staff members and cadets did CPR until an ambulance arrived. Drost later died at a hospital.
He was so proud to be a Wildcat, and he was so proud especially to be a cadet, and so that just bled into everything he did. He lit up the room and touched so many lives here.
Drost will be honored tonight with a moment of silence before Paloma Valley's football game. A Corona woman is shaking tonight after she surprised two robbers inside her home and they attacked her. And we have that video that could help catch those attackers. CBS 2's Tina Patel is live at the Corona police station with the security video. Tina.
Well, police say unfortunately home invasion burglaries are becoming more common, but for them to turn violent like this is unusual and disturbing. That's why they're hoping this video will help them catch the suspects.
In my bedroom, in my bed, in my drawer, and everything. They touch everything.
A Corona homeowner shared this video of the mess left behind by two burglars yesterday morning. She didn't want to show her face because she's worried they might come back.
I couldn't sleep last night. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the violated, very personal. I feel it's very personal.
But this woman says she's actually lucky because the same burglars also broke into her neighbor's home and attacked her 48-year-old neighbor, knocking her unconscious.
I told my husband that they're not human, because no human can do that to a human. They're animal.
The two men got away, but police are hoping someone will recognize them from this security video. It appears they had been walking up and down the street, knocking on doors before the break-in. Police say the woman who was attacked admitted someone had knocked on her door earlier, but she didn't answer because she didn't recognize the person.
A short time later, heard noises downstairs, came down and saw the same male that was at the door inside her residence with another black male. And then the last thing she remembers was being punched in the face.
Police say many burglars will move on if they think someone is inside a home, so they advise homeowners to make their presence known even if they don't feel comfortable answering their doors.
Something that you don't know, just call out through the door so that they know that someone's home.
This homeowner says her neighbor is still shaken up and scared, knowing the men who attacked her are on the loose.
She's really badly injured, and the people need to be, get caught so can be justice for her.
And police say those two men were seen driving away from the Chase Ranch area in a silver Mercedes. Anyone with information about the men or that car are asked to come forward. In Corona, Tina Patel, CBS 2 News.
Mr. President, I will vote to confirm Judge Kavanaugh.
I labor with this decision, and we all did our own. We've done due diligence.
Tonight, more controversy as the last crucial holdouts on Judge Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court nomination revealed their votes, all but assuring his confirmation. For 40 minutes today, the Republican senator from Maine laid out her case for why she's voting yes for Kavanaugh. Well, moments later, the Democratic senator from West Virginia followed suit. But he was nearly drowned out by a chorus of shame on you from protesters, as you just heard there. CBS 2 political reporter Dave Bryan is here to tell us where things stand with just less than 24 hours to go before the final vote.
I was just going to say what a big change from 24 hours ago. But barring a political earthquake now, this is a done deal. No question. And Arizona Senator Jeff Flake agrees. He said unless something big happens, Brett Kavanaugh will be the next Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Like a prosecutor giving a closing argument, Senator Susan Collins spelled out her reasons for backing him while giving respect to his accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford.
President.
Senator Collins, please vote.
Before Senator Susan Collins could begin her speech, protesters interrupted, begging her to vote down Judge Kavanaugh. Once they were removed, Collins spelled out why she believes Kavanaugh is fit to serve on the Supreme Court.
There has also been considerable focus on the future of abortion rights based on the concern that Judge Kavanaugh would seek to overturn Roe v. Wade. He believes that precedent is not just a judicial policy, it is constitutionally dictated to pay attention and pay heed to rules of precedent.
Collins also said she found Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's testimony last week to be sincere, painful, and compelling. However,
the 4 witnesses she named could not corroborate any of the events of that evening gathering where she says the assault occurred.
Senator Collins has done her homework. She's always believed he was qualified, but just wanted to make sure the allegations were seriously dealt with.
on the other side of the aisle,
I am deeply disturbed that the Senate is moving forward with this nomination.
For many of us, fairness has not been achieved, and the bigger message is to these 2 women who came forward to share their journeys, to share their experiences, is that the U.S. Senate was unwilling to hear them out, unfortunately.
Are you going to let our democracy die?
the only Democrat to publicly come out on the yes side, West Virginia's Joe Manchin, got an earful after he announced his decision.
I came to my conclusion really this morning when I went through another hour and a half of reading the FBI report.
The allegations? Do you believe Dr. Ford?
I believe Dr. Ford. Something happened to Dr. Ford. I don't believe that the facts showed that it was Brett Kavanaugh.
At a female empowerment summit at Princeton University, Supreme Court Justices and alumni Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan didn't talk directly about Kavanaugh, but did discuss the current political climate and how they're fighting to keep it out of their chambers.
It's an incredibly important thing for the court to guard, is this reputation of being fair, of being impartial, of being neutral, and of not being simply an extension of the terribly polarized political process and environment that we live in.
So the next and presumably last step will come tomorrow when the Senate is scheduled to take its final and decisive vote on Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation. And unless someone changes their vote overnight, the outcome appears to be pretty clear. Judge Kavanaugh will become the next Supreme Court justice. Pat, Susie, back to you.
All right, we will stay tuned. Thank you, Dave. Well, Maine Senator Susan Collins' long-awaited decision had people on the edges of their seats.
That's right. CBS2's Amy Johnson has reaction to the Supreme Court drama from Occidental College.
Mr. President, I will vote to confirm Judge Kavanaugh.
It seems clear that Brett Kavanaugh will be confirmed to the Supreme Court of the United States.
We watched the senator's announcement with Occidental College political science professor Caroline Heldman and Lindley Bernard.
I am disappointed that our country has made sexual violence a partisan issue. I am disappointed that that we didn't believe survivors in this instance, or even worse, that a lot of folks actually believed Dr. Blasey Ford and perhaps the other women, but it wasn't important enough for them to prevent a lifelong appointment to the Supreme Court.
It's kind of like whiplash. One step forward, 2 steps backwards.
Bernard is an actor, artist, and a sexual abuse survivor of Bill Cosby.
My perpetrator was a powerful man. Hers is a more powerful man. I feel so much empathy for her, and I cannot imagine what she's feeling knowing that the person whom she claims sexually assaulted her is now going to be making decisions.
Around campus, the sentiments were similar.
Even if he was younger, if it was a mistake, I mean, maybe for another job, but for a Supreme Court, you just can't do something like that.
Aside from everything, even if he was innocent, his demeanor during the hearings was appalling.
It's also disappointing to see such like partisanship entering in as well.
I'm actually from Maine, so this is extremely disappointing.
At Occidental College, Amy Johnson, CBS2 News.
And there will be much more on the Kavanaugh controversy and the countdown to tomorrow's Senate vote coming up at 6:30 on the CBS Evening News with Jeff Gore.
Well, 1 win down, 2 more to go as the Dodgers look to beat the Braves and advance to the National League Championship Series.
That's right. Game 2 against Atlanta starts in a little over an hour. Our Dave Lopez and Jim Hill are live at Dodger Stadium, where fans are looking forward to tonight's game, especially after last night's big win. Hey, Jim?
Pat, thank you very much. A lot of excitement will be at Dodger Stadium in about an hour and a half as the first pitch will go off. But the Dodgers took a 1-0 lead in the best-of-5 series over the Atlanta Braves last night here at Chavez Ravine with that big 6-0 victory. And we all know the Dodgers had a lot of power last night. Max Muncy delivered the big blow with a 3-run homer in the third inning, continuing his incredible year. Now, Muncy came out of nowhere to lead the Dodgers with 35 home runs in the regular season. And manager Dave Roberts talked about Muncy's path to success.
I think that everyone has a different path, and where Max is at right now, maturity-wise, performance-wise, where he was a few years ago in Oakland, probably different. And that's not even into the mechanics. So I think that, you know, some people are supposed to be Cody Bellinger and get here sooner than others. And guys, you sort of make your own breaks is what I believe. So Max continued to persevere and perform, and he got an opportunity, and he took advantage of it to his credit.
Clayton Kershaw, the Dodger ace, will be on the mound for the Dodgers tonight, and the Dodgers feel real good about going back to Atlanta with a 2-0 lead in the best-of-5 series. Back to you in studio now.
All right, thank you, Jim. Now to our Dave Lopez, who's hanging out with Dodgers fans.
Again, and Dave, I'm sure the fans are real fired up after what they saw from this team last night, right?
Well, they have to be. I mean, the Dodger fans waited a long time. I hate to keep repeating it, but it was since 1988 that the Dodgers won the World Series. Last year they got to the World Series, but we all know what happened. We're standing here on the reserve level. It's still a little early. People are coming into the ballpark. That's Atlanta down there now taking batting practice. Last night they got shut out. And the fans, most Dodger fans that we talk to, well, they have this attitude that nobody can beat them.
Here's a high drive to deep right center field, back near the wall.
For the Dodgers, everything is clicking.
Here's a high fly ball, deep right center field. NCRD back to the wall. Forget it, it's gone.
In high gear, right?
This is our year.
And I want that winning streak to continue. I don't want it to stop.
Who's next? Lunchtime today at East Side Italian Deli on Alpine, but the sign inside the place says it's on Vin Scully Avenue. Dodger fans, between bites of their sandwiches, expressing, how can we lose?
They're having fun. They're making it look easy. That's the hard part about sports, you know?
Your talent meal is incredible. We got Muncy now. We got Kim, Jock Peterson.
And hurt in the postseason.
Not to mention Hyun-Jin Ryu, who was lights out for 7 innings last night and was pitching like he was Sandy Koufax. Speaking of Sandy, the Dodger great was right there front and center last night.
Just a better team, I think, you know, and they're on a roll.
In their last 5 games, the sweep in San Francisco, the playoff win over Colorado, and last night's 6-0, the Dodgers have outscored their opponents 39-9. And no team in the history of the Dodgers, that's counting even Brooklyn days, has ever hit more home runs in one season. 235 so far, and still counting.
I used to take the streetcar to the Coliseum, 58. My dad made me a Dodger fan. So I'm still a Dodger fan.
A Dodger fan with high hopes. After all, the club could not be playing any better.
They can't be stopped right now. They're hitting on all cylinders.
We are going to sweep, as my man said. Mark my words.
Well, the place is starting to fill up a little bit. Game time is at 6:37 if you're going by particulars. But in baseball, hey, the only thing that counts is the Dodgers are red hot. They haven't lost in 5 straight games. They have been winning games easily, and they got Kershaw going tonight. And if they win tonight, they go 2 up. Off day tomorrow, go to Atlanta on Sunday. As I said, the good folks are here. The place will be rocking. Reporting live from inside Dodger Stadium. Can you believe this place is 1962? The place looks great. Back to you in the studio.
It sure does, Dave. We could feel the excitement.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, money, cars, beauty, and a new baby.
Yeah, they seemed to have it all until it all came crashing down.
Nothing on the phone prepared us for what we were walking into.
Coming up, a flashy and fabulous life ends in a Hollywood horror story.
I'm like, oh, what is your problem? I'm like, oh my God, somebody help me. And I start bawling.
A local woman sues after she says she was sexually assaulted on an airplane.
Also, Robocall Killer, a new app, turns the tables on the people flooding your phone with those annoying calls.
That sounds like a great movie, Robocall Killer. Coming up, everybody, nice weekend. We'll tell you about it on the way.